5-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 3-time gold medalist, 2007-08 NBA MVP, 18-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA, 12-time All-Defensive Team, 2-time scoring champion, 4-time All-Star Game MVP, 1997 Slam Dunk champion, 1996-97 All-Rookie Team. Late great Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball who never cheated the game, gave his 100% night in and night out, one of the most competitive, fearless players. The Black Mamba was a 5-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 1-time MVP winner, 15 times All-NBA Team, 12 times All-NBA Defense, the youngest to win the dunk contest, and many more. Today, we take a look at the top 10 moments in his 20-years-long career. 10. 2005. 62 points in 3 quarters. Kobe Bryant 62. Dallas Mavericks 61. That's what the scoreboard could have read after 3 quarters in this contest. Bryant didn't have to play in the 4th quarter because his performance was so dominant through 3 quarters that the Lakers built a large enough lead for him to take the final period off. Kobe's 62 points came on 1-8 for 3-1 shooting from the field, going 2-2 for 2-5 from the free throw line. While fans were probably upset that head coach Phil Jackson didn't allow Bryant to chase history, a few weeks later, he made his mark on the all-time single-game scoring list. 9. Getting drafted. In every player's life, getting drafted by the NBA has always been their dream. Kobe was one of the youngest players to ever enter the NBA at the age of 18 years and 72 days. He was at first drafted by the Charlotte Hornets, its No. 13 draft pick, and immediately traded him to Los Angeles for Vlade Divac. Kobe Bryant was drafted 13th overall by Hornets in 1996 before Lakers acquired his draft rights. 8. 81 points against the Raptors. Kobe was a relentless scorer. He is one of the most skilled players the NBA has ever seen. He had the mid-range game, could shoot the ball from the arc, post moves with such great movement, had dozens of layups and dunk packages. A career 83.7% free throw shooter. He had no weakness on the offensive end. It was the 26th of January 2006. Kobe, just a month before, had scored 62 points against the Mavericks, 7th-ranked defense team at the time, and literally outscored them in 3 quarters 62-61 and didn't even play in the 4th quarter. He scored 81 points against Raptors, making it the 2nd highest score to ever scored by an individual, second to Wilt's 100-point game. He broke the Lakers' all-time scoring record of 71 by the great Elgin Baylor. Kobe took only 46 shots and converted 28 of them. He was 7/13th from the 3-point line and shot 18/20th from the free throw line. 7. 2007-08 MVP season. Most valuable player of the NBA is a feat only 35 players have achieved in the NBA, and Kobe is one of them. After all the efforts in the 2005-06 season, where Kobe averaged 35.4 points, 5.3 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and then go on to average another 31.6 points per game, many fans believe that he was snubbed of the MVP. But finally, in 2007-08, Kobe's Lakers was the number 1 seed in the Western Conference with the record of 57-25. He averaged 28.3 points, 6.3 rebounds and 5.4 assists, shooting 46% from the field, 36% from beyond the arc and 84.8% from the free throw line. But the season had a bitter ending as Lakers lost in NBA Finals to the Celtics in 6 games. 6. Bringing home 2 gold medals. The USA team had won 3 consecutive gold medals before the 2004 Olympics, where they came 3rd and won the bronze medal, but 2008 was different. Even though Kobe was not part of the 2004 Olympics men's basketball team, he was prepared and determined to be the part of the redemption and thus formed the Redeem Team. Kobe was on a mission. He was the soul and leader of the team. In the gold medal game, Kobe came up clutch. He iced the game at the 3rd-minute mark by scoring a 3-pointer with a foul. Team USA then went on to redeem the 2004 loss and won the gold medal, with Kobe leading the charge. In 2012, Kobe was a veteran in the squad at the age of 36. He took a back seat against rising stars like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Carmelo Anthony. 5. 2007, 4th straight 50-point game. Kobe scored 65 points in a win over the Trail Blazers. The next game, he scored 50 points in a win over the Timberwolves. The next game, he scored 60 points in a win over the Grizzlies. There's no way he could score over 50 again, right? Wrong. Bryant then dropped 50 points in a win over the Hornets, marking his 4th consecutive 50-point game. All 4 of the games resulted in wins for the Lakers. All 4 games were won by single digits. Later that season, Bryant would go on to win his 2nd straight scoring title. 4. 2009, 61 points at Madison Square Garden. At the time, Kobe's 61 points set the all-time scoring record at Madison Square Garden as MVP chance reigned over him. He was 1-9 for 3-1 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3 and shot a perfect 2-0 for 2-0 from the free throw line to lead the Lakers to a victory over the Knicks. He passed Michael Jordan's opponent's scoring record of 55 points and also passed Bernard King's record of 60 points for the most in MSG history. 5 years later, Carmelo Anthony would overtake the record for most points at MSG with 62, but Bryant, along with James Harden, as of last season, still holds the record for most points by an opponent with 61. 2010 championship win against Boston Celtics. Lakers and Celtics have been the two biggest franchises of the NBA. And they are the biggest rivals too. Lakers versus Celtic rivalry dates back from the 1980s to now. Both franchises have equal numbers of championships. This to me was the greatest moment of Kobe's life. He won his fifth and last championship against their main rivals, the Celtics. In 2008, Kobe had lost to the Celtics' newly formed Big Three: Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen in 6 games. 2010 Finals. In Kobe's words, "This one is by far the sweetest because it's them. This was the hardest one by far. I wanted it so bad. And sometimes when you want it so bad, it slips away from you. My guys picked me up. It was one of the most thrilling finals with a Game 7. The Lakers were down 3-2 in the series. In crucial Games 6 and 7, Kobe scored 26 points and 23 points to lead his team and were named the NBA Finals 2010 winners. The greatest moment or accomplishment for Kobe Bryant, in my opinion, would have to be hands down winning the Olympic Games in Beijing at the 2008 Games. After disappointing performances in the previous Games by the USA, the Redeem Team brought the gold medal back to the United States and would be the only Olympic medal Kobe Bryant has received. Sure, winning the NBA Finals is the main goal, but you get a shot at that year after year. Bringing the gold medal back to the USA and finishing first in a ceremony that only comes around every 4 years comes with such a greater level of drama and a far greater scale of competition. The scale could not be greater and prize more treasurable than a gold medal at the Olympic Games, which is why the US victory in Beijing tops the list of Kobe's career moments and accomplishments. 2. 2013. The 2 free throws. One of the most memorable moments of Kobe's toughness came in a regular season game against the Golden State Warriors on April 12, 2013. Bryant was fouled on a drive to the hoop, hitting the ground with an injury that would later be confirmed as a torn Achilles. Despite being one of the most brutal injuries an athlete could possibly face, Kobe powered through the pain, stepping to the line to bury a pair of free throws before exiting the game. 1. 2016. 60 points in his final game. Kobe's final game is one that basketball fans will remember for the rest of our lives. With the entire basketball universe watching, Bryant put on one last show by dropping 60 points in his final game. He scored 23 of those 60 points in the final quarter to lead the Lakers to a victory, a suiting way to exit the game. His 60 points are the most in NBA history by a player in their final game, and his post-game speech ending with "Mamba out" will live in our hearts forever. In conclusion, we would just like to say that this may be a bit unorthodox when it comes to breaking down a player's career. Kobe Bryant has been a 10-time NBA All-Star, 10-time All-NBA selection, 8-time All-Defensive selection, as well as a scoring and slam dunk champion. But when all is said and done, it is just wrong to just take 10 of your favorite single-game performances or a few slam dunks from a highlight reel and use them to try and summarize someone's greatest moments or accomplishments. That is why we tried to compile the top 10 events that not only had an impact on the fans and Kobe Bryant, but we tried to select events that illustrated his achievements and growth as a person, teammate, and competitor that are not only great moments for the fans, but that were also great moments for him.